Fight, for giving me the opportunity to join you here this evening. And I did want to just start by thanking the sponsors. You know, I think it's exciting that we have young people that want to get engaged with the political process. And more importantly, I think that we have good corporate citizens in our community that really can understand why that's important and really support the activity. So I just wanted to start by thanking the sponsors who are here. I know a couple of you, but I think it's really important. I just wanted to thank you for inviting me here. I didn't really know what I was going to say because I was trying to understand who would be in the room. I did know that you had expanded and invited young Democrats from the Pacific region, and I understand that there are several people here from California and elsewhere, and so I just wanted to welcome all of you. For the most part, I'm preaching to the choir, so most of what I had prepared to say is probably things that you all know. So I'll start with that, but I do want to also include a little bit about the things that are going on. So I'll kind of start with what I had planned to say, and then expand it a little bit to the things that have been happening recently. I did want to just congratulate the organizing committee and all of you for expressing your leadership and your interest in Hawaii and the nation. It is truly inspiring to see the energy and enthusiasm for making a difference. I went through the 3-day program here, and you really have put together such a great program. I mean, I don't think that you could go to any other conference in the country and be able to sit with a governor, a U.S. senator, former congressperson, several mayors in the course of a few days. So clearly, I just wanted to congratulate the program committee for really putting such a great program together. You know, I did want to talk a little bit about the conference theme. He Waiwai Nui Ka Lokahi. Unity is a precious possession. You know, I think for those of us who grew up in Hawaii, you know, sometimes we forget about how special a place Hawaii really is. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. You know, it's so appropriate today, especially when you look at the gridlock in Congress. You know, the fact that the leaders of our nation are unable to find common ground. So much now, the national budget is determined by the arbitrary sequester. I mean, all of us have seen the hearings about the reduction at Schofield Barracks, and that really is a result of if the Congress can't decide on a budget, then the budget's going to be decided by sequester. And there's significant impact on existing programs. And as you know, federal spending in the state of Hawaii is about $10 billion. It's the second most important economic sector in our community. And if that budget is decided by sequester and the reductions occur, then there will be significant impact in each and every community. So I think it's so appropriate to talk about unity and how precious a possession it is. You know, in Hawaii, we had learned a long time ago, for those of us who call Hawaii home, we learned that when we work together as a community, we can achieve so many more things, greater than we could achieve individually. And I'm proud to come from Hawaii because we have led the country in so many areas. You know, for example, we elected the first Chinese American to the United States Senate. We've elected the first Japanese American to the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate. We elected the first woman of color and the first woman of Japanese American ancestry to the U.S. House. You know, we elected the first Native Hawaiian to the United States Senate. And then we elected the first Japanese American governor, the first Native Hawaiian governor, the first Filipino American governor, and now the first Okinawan governor. So, I mean, we do have a legacy of understanding, and as you all know, when there is no majority and we are all minorities, we learn very quickly that if we can work together in spite of our differences, that we can get more done. And really, all of us who call Hawaii home really understand that we have been successful because we received a special gift from the host culture, and that gift is aloha. Aloha is a life force that defines who we are and why we are here. It is a condition, a way of life, a mindset, and an attitude. Aloha is an action, a natural response of respect, love, and sharing. Aloha is to be in the presence of life, to share the essence of one's being with openness, honesty, and humility. It is a way of being, a commitment to being real, to accepting others, and giving dignity to who they are and what they have to offer. I strive to live aloha every day, and I see it changing the course of actions in our community. You know, the 2016 election is so important in determining the future direction of our country. In 2008, Barack Obama energized communities across the country, including here in Hawaii, and so many people new to politics were encouraged by his message and got engaged in the Democratic Party here as well as across the country. Yeah, and most importantly, they showed up at the polls and made a difference in the election result. We were so fortunate to have elected the first African American president to this country. And I think most importantly, for some of us who've been engaged in the political process, I never ever dreamed that I would live to see the day that someone born in Hawaii, someone who attended Noelani Elementary School, someone who grew up in Hawaii, would become president of the United States. And it truly is, I think, a statement of who we are and what we stand for here in this great state of Hawaii. The world is changing, and changing faster and faster with each year. And the way that people communicate is changing faster than ever. There have been more and more examples in the recent election of candidates who are considered underdogs by the traditional sense. Those who are of limited experience or underfunded or largely unknown, winning elections across the country that no one ever gave them a chance to win in the past. And I really do believe it's because how and why we communicate is changing. You know, today's communication, media, is so much more important, I think, in elections. Even though the bulk of the money spent in campaigns today are really spent on the traditional advertising mechanisms, the expensive television, media campaigns, and advertising. And I truly believe that they're becoming less and less effective. And the new social media, Twitter and Facebook, and Instagram, and all of those mechanisms are truly becoming more and more effective. And the challenge is really understanding, for some of us old guys who are used to traditional campaigns, how can we take the concepts of the traditional campaign and really apply them in the new technology and new media era? You know, because I do know that something called friend to friend, and really when you build a campaign and ask people to contact their friends and support you, it truly is about people and people to people. And we used to do postcards, but today we do Facebook and email and Instagram. and it's so much cheaper, and it's even more effective because not are you talking about some static postcard that you got to remember to mail, but it's really something that doesn't really cost anything, and you can do video and other media as well as. So really, I think the opportunity for young Democrats is really to work and understand the traditional campaign methods, because I truly believe that they're based on the key to successful elections, which really is about people to people, and try and figure out how you would recreate those tried and true methodologies in light of the new technology. Because it's so much easier today to contact people through email and Facebook and Instagram. And really, those messages can be even more powerful than those postcards that we used to work tirelessly to send to friends and family. I think the most important thing is really to get to those new media networks. And the challenge is really, how do you keep track? You know, before, part of the hardest task in the campaign is really keeping track of the old style mailing lists and friend-to-friend cards, and really making sure that they were filled out and dropped in the mail, so you could keep track of how many people you're reaching, how many people in every community you're reaching. Today with Facebook and Instagram, you really, anyone can contact anyone in the state or in the country for that matter, and really to keep track of, and so you have a and understanding of who you're reaching and how you're reaching. It becomes a lot more complicated, but the technique is still as powerful as ever, because it's easier to believe your friend when looking at which candidate you should support, rather than that multi-million-dollar campaign that's playing over and over and over again in traditional media. So I did want to just congratulate the organizers and thank you guys for putting together such a great program. You know, all of you, the future really is in your hands. More and more, as we see the demographics of our community changing, you and your voice will become more and more important with each passing year. You know, all of us who've been in office, we understand that those older than 55 are very consistent voters, but there are fewer and fewer of them. The real opportunity is that the younger people are getting engaged more in elections, and that on a going forward basis, your activity, your efforts, and your success in social media and new media techniques will become more and more important in each and every subsequent election. So I just want to congratulate all of you. Thank you for joining us this evening. I just thought, and I don't know exactly how long you guys want me to talk, because I can really be here for a long time. If you want.